Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self-love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self-love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self-confidence, and self-worth. So get ready. This is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at im.enoughmsl. Hey y'all, welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. It's your girl Charity B. As usual, I hope you guys are doing great out there. I'm feeling pretty good myself. I had a great weekend. For y'all who didn't know, my birthday did just pass. It was on January 28th. Cue applause. Go Carriers game. For those who birthday has passed or is coming up, happy early birthday and happy belated birthday to you. I hope you did enjoy or are going to enjoy your birthday on your special day. For me, one of my friends came down from Dallas, and like the rest of my friends live in Houston. So, she came down, and it kind of was fun because it was reminding me of the old days. I'm not that old. I'm only 25. Yes, the two big five. So watch yourself. But, it was fun because like back in college, we used to go to each other's house and get ready to go out. You know how it used to be back then. So, well, when you were in college, let's stop saying back then because it makes me feel old, and I'm not that old. So, but during those days, we used to go to each other's house and get dressed. So it was kind of nice because like she would come because she stayed at one of my other friends' house, and they would come over and we got dressed together and we would go out together. So for this birthday, I decided to go to a Brazilian buffet. I don't know the name of it. It's like, I would hate to pronounce it and mess it up. I don't know, Veneta or something like that. It's in Stafford. For those who live in Houston know what I'm talking about. But it is on the pricey side, but it's really, I think it's worth it because you get unlimited meats and unlimited sides. So they walk around and they cut up like lamb, chicken, there's beef, there's scallops, all kind of seafood, pork, all of that. So, and for those who don't, well, if you don't know, I love lamb. So I was tearing up the lamb because I can't eat beef for health reasons. So like, I love lamb. I was eating that lamb, so it was worth it to me. But yeah, I had a good time. I think for me, it was just really nice to have all my friends and family together. So yeah, that was really nice for me. I enjoyed myself. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. So yeah, with that being said, don't forget, as usual, like I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications, as well as share the podcast with your loved ones, your grandpappy, your grandma, your uncle, your auntie, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, etc. Because we all need a little bit of self-love, and what's a better way to do that than to tell them about this great podcast that is aimed towards helping people with self-love or their self-love journey. So don't forget to do that, as well as follow my Instagram page at im.enoughmsl to keep up with different posts throughout the week and see what the next episode is going to be when that will be released. That information is also available there. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this episode. This is episode number 12, and it will be called Being Your Authentic Self. Let's align with oneself. Hope you like that title. Cue applause. Well, you're probably thinking like, what does it mean to be your authentic self? When I say be your authentic self, it's accepting you for you, your personality, your physical features, that part that people find weird, but it's you being you. That part, not the part that doesn't care about what anybody else thinks. The part of you that's deep down inside that nobody really knows except the people who really are close to you. And when your words, your actions, and behaviors are consistent with your true identity and you're walking your own walk in your own path. That's what I know. That's what I believe being your authentic self is. Now, you're probably like, why is this essential, or why do I need to be my authentic self? Well, for one, it helps build meaningful relationships with yourself as well with others. You can't be in a relationship or friendship with someone and just being someone that you think that person is going to accept, because in the end, you really are not going to be happy. You're not going to experience true happiness because you're living for somebody else. You're not being yourself. You being this fake person just so that someone else can like you, and that's not how you're supposed to live your life, because at the end of the day, it is your life. If you pretend to be somebody else, you're just lying to yourself, and you lying to the other person that you supposedly care about, and then you lose that meaningful relationship. So it's best to go into things, showing who you truly are, and let that person embrace that. Because if that person can't embrace who you truly are, how you truly act, then that person really doesn't love you or care about you and doesn't need to be around you. Okay. And then it also clarifies on your destined path on the life you want to live. When it's clear the things that matter to you, you better understand how to make the appropriate decisions that aligns with your core values and beliefs. So if you are living in your truth and walking in your truth, you're going to have the life you want to live, or the life that you see for yourself eventually. You'll be on that right path. And sometimes, like, when you're not aligned with your past, a lot of bad things happen around you. That's why a lot of things happen in your life that's not working out the way you need them to work out, because you're not living in your truth and you're not walking the path that you need to walk. It's not the path that was designed for you. And I don't know about y'all, but Charity wants the path that's designed for her, because I would hate to experience all these bad things because I'm not living in my truth, and it's like I'm lying to myself, and I am what's the word, I'm betraying who I really am. I'm betraying myself, and I feel like that creates self-hate instead of self-love when you're not walking in your truth. You begin to not like yourself because you acting like somebody that's not you. When you do things that go against your core values or beliefs, it decreases the chances of you ever experiencing true happiness. And it might lead to you, like I said, it might lead to you feeling like you betrayed yourself, make you feel guilty, feel shame, self-betrayal, and you might isolate yourself. It might cause depression because you're not living in your truth. Now, we're going to talk about if you don't think you're living or being your authentic self, how can you go about doing that? Are some tips I could give you in order to start being your authentic self. And I think we're talking about this today because it actually pertains or goes into our goals. I feel like this is a new year. We're starting from fresh. We're starting from scratch. And this is an opportunity, if you are doing your self-love journey, to meet the goal you want to be or have for yourself. If you want that self-confidence, if you want to walk in a room and everybody notice your self-confidence, we start from the beginning. Like, this is where we're starting from the beginning. And this plays a big role in being able to embrace yourself or show yourself some compassion. So this is why I was like, okay, let's go ahead and talk about being your authentic self, because I know a lot of people struggle with that, and we're going to talk about the reasons why people struggle with that. And for one, I would say social influences, especially for our young adults, young men and young women, high school, middle school. It's a lot of peer pressure. People expect you to act a certain way, and when you don't act a certain way, you get bullied. I'm here to tell you, don't let nobody try to knock you off your pedestal because you're different. Who wants to be normal anyway? I would hate if I was like the next girl or the next boy. I would hate if we were all similar. Because what's the purpose of me being here if we still have other charities out here that act the same way? I would rather be unique and have my own distinctiveness from everybody else than to be the same. There's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with liking different color clothes or dressing a certain way or having your hair a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. And eventually people who bully you about them type of things, they eventually like, oh, okay, I kind of like her style. They start gravitating to you and start trying to be like you because they understand, or they see that confidence about yourself that just because you talk about me, I'm still going to do me at the end of the day. So don't change yourself for nobody, especially as young adults. Don't let nobody peer pressure you to do something that you know for sure that is something that you don't want to do and will have you feeling bad about yourself in the end. Okay, so that's some things, social influences. And another reason why it's hard to be your authentic self is because it's hard to be somebody you don't know nothing about, okay, or you don't know how to do it, or how to be just yourself. like I said, it's a lot of things of influence us. Our environment, sometimes we just have to fight, or not even just fight, but like, say for instance, you live in a bad neighborhood, you got to be this person just so that you can survive in the neighborhood or environment you are in. And if you don't know who you are at the end of the day, it's like, how can you love or embrace somebody you don't know nothing about? It don't make sense. I don't know nothing about you or myself. So how am I supposed to embrace myself the right way in order to align with the path that I'm supposed to be on? And then also, people like to play it safe. You know, I'm scared that if I do this, this might go wrong. But sometimes, like I always say, you gotta take that step. You gotta go the extra mile to be like, I gotta take this risk. Because if you don't, you're gonna be in that continuous loop and nothing's going to change. I'd rather try something new and like get burnt than to keep playing it safe and keep going to continue negative cycle with no good results, same results, and I'm still in the same path. I don't know. For me, I like self growth, and I feel like if you don't have that self growth, you're gonna wither up and die. Like, that's just that, because you don't have no type of growth. If you stunt your growth, you're gonna be at the same level with the same results, same things. You're not gonna get nothing out of it, and you're gonna be sitting there stuck like, why will this not happen? Sometimes it's not good to play things safe. There's nothing wrong with taking that step just to see if it's gonna work. At the end of the day, life is full of mistakes and lessons that we have to learn. But we have to take those risks in order to learn from our mistakes, in order to better ourselves and get to the next level, you know? And I would also say, people often think that, or why it's hard to be your authentic self, because they feel like it's being selfish. Let's just cut this stereotypical thing that being selfish is bad. First of all, it's not. At some point, you have to be selfish for yourself. You got to be selfish and want stuff so bad for yourself that you're willing to do what it takes to get to that next level. You got to be selfish sometimes. Ain't nothing wrong being selfish. Now, if it's something selfish and it hurts the feelings of someone you love, or, well, sometimes, listen, you got to hurt somebody's feelings in order to get where you got to be. I'm just going to be real. Because sometimes people take you for granted and how good of a heart you have, and they're so used to you doing the same old things that they think that they can take you for granted. If it's affecting you negatively and you brought this up to this person and they still doing the same thing because they think, oh, well, she's just saying that, or he just saying that, they're going to continue to do the same thing. No. You need to hurt their feelings a little bit and change up your style. If it hurts somebody's feelings that you want to better yourself, they don't need to be around you. Because you should want the best for me like I want the best for you. So me wanting best for myself shouldn't hurt your feelings because I'm switching up. You should be happy that I'm switching up. And if it do hurt their feelings, I feel like somebody who care about you is going to be like, okay, well, I get it. Sometimes you got to be selfish. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. So, well, since you've heard all of this so far, are you someone who is comfortable with being their authentic self? Or do you even know who you are in order to embrace the person that is your authentic self? Those are questions you got to ask. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm here to give you the tips and, little, some advice or something to help you so that you can be your authentic self and maintain that authenticity. If you have not identified who your authentic self is, we're going to talk about how can you. So the first thing that I would say is checking your personal inventory. Who am I? Y'all know that's my favorite thing. Who am I? I feel like you can't do this self-love journey, or you can't even start without knowing who you are. You need to sit back, take a breath, sit back and see what you like. Discover yourself. Figure out things about yourself. Yeah, like I said, there's no way to see your actual progress in this self-love journey without knowing who you are. Nobody's going to embrace a stranger. Well, some people do, but as you embracing yourself as a stranger, you're not going to want to do that, or you're not going to know how to because you don't know nothing about yourself. So this is a time where you need to figure yourself out. What do you like? What do you dislike? What makes you angry? What makes you sad? What makes you tick? What do you like to do? What do you like to do in your spare time? What do you want in life? That's a big one, like knowing what you want in life. Who are you? What makes you you? What makes you different and unique from the next person? Those are the things you got to sit back and do. You need to check your inventory. See what's up. What is what? And as time, and I'm not going to say this is a one-time thing you got to do, because as you get older, like I always say, I want to say you're a new person, but sort of like you're a new person. You just mature more. You become your mental, your knowledge, the things you know back last year. You know that plus more. You learn new things every day, so you obtain new behaviors, whether they're good behaviors or bad behaviors. You know, you got a different walk about you. You got a different talk. You know, so and your energy is different. So you have to tweak some things. You're gonna have to discover yourself more as you get older, figuring out who you are, you know? So I'm not gonna say this is the one and done thing. You know, you always have to check your inventory every once in a while. So checking your self inventory is like the first thing I would do. That would be the first step. The second step is to define and embrace your strengths. Okay. The things that come easy to us will be considered our strengths. They deliver the best results. We can do them without having steps, and we just easily do them. They come easy to us. Be attentive to the things that we're also good at, but we don't really enjoy. Try to substitute those for the things that we actually do enjoy and are good at. That way you are able to experience true happiness. Now, I'm not saying forget about those things that you're good at and you know, don't really like, because they may come handy. But when you do explore your strengths and embrace them, that can help you like yourself a little bit more than doing stuff that you really don't like. And like I said, your environment and things around us, our influences around us, can definitely play a big part in how we treat ourselves or how we deal with things around us. And it definitely plays a role in our aligned path. It's nothing like doing something you're good at but don't like, and you're going down the wrong path, because that's not meant for you. The next thing I would say is explore your values. What do you find important in life? What would make you essentially happy overall? What values do you have that help with the decisions that you make, you know? Whether it's spiritual or beliefs about life, you know. I think that when I was in college, I recognized quite often that young adults struggle with like their religion, you know, especially like you grow up Christian, you blow up whatever religion you are, they kind of struggle with. They know they believe in God, but they don't really know why. And what I can't say my mama never did, like, I guess she would always make it not really known, but she would make sure that I knew what I was talking about or what I was reading. Make sure I really understood it, not just telling me, "Oh, this is right," just because I said it right. And if I had a question about something in the Bible, you know, I'll ask that question. But she never like, "Oh, just do it because it's right." Da 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 da. Because I feel like that only would not really mess up, but it would have that person thinking, is this really true? Because I really don't know. And now you questioning your self-identity. But I don't think it's totally a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because it helps you determine, what do you really believe for? What do you hold close to your heart that helps you walk in your aligned path and walk in your truth? Because it's nothing like being raised and believing something because your parents said that it was right. You know, as you get older, you're going to come up with your own beliefs, your own values. And there's nothing wrong with changing those values as long as it's your truth, you know? And our values help guide us with decisions that we make and how we act. So, and it also leads to a meaningful life, because we're following things that like I said, we hold close to our heart, that we discover. And we discover these things through experiences. You know, we have to experience things for ourselves. And that's why I think that a lot of young people change the way they think once they get to college. And it's not like they're trying to be rebellious. They're just trying to figure things out. As everybody know, once you leave the nest, when you turn 18 or you go to college or stuff, that's the time when you're trying to figure out, well, who am I? Like, for real. And I'm going to say this. I feel like as a young adult, like your 18, 20s, you shouldn't be dating. I'm going to be real, because I feel like it kind of like you don't really know what you want out of a relationship. I wouldn't say most people don't know what they want, you know? It's like you're trying to figure yourself out and figure out who you are, what do you care about. You don't need to be conflicted or always smothered around somebody. And I'm not saying that the person you with is probably not good for you. I'm just saying that you need that time to get to know yourself, figure yourself out, what you like. Like me in college, I don't know. Like I wasn't really attracted. I was attracted to men, but I wasn't attracted enough to want to like date anybody. I didn't start dating till I was like had an actual boyfriend. Like I would consider like school, like high school. That don't count for me. But my real only had 2 real relationships in my life, and I started dating when I was like 20. I had just like 19, like the next weekend I was turning 20. So like I had just started dating. But I would say I feel like I always had a good head on my shoulders. I feel like my 18, I was like dealing with somebody, but it wasn't like serious in my opinion. But I always was like, if I talked to a man or like somebody in college, I was never had intentions to doing anything with this man, going hang out with this dude or do anything, because I don't know. For me, I like intellectual, like conversation. So you got to be talking about something. Your conversation got to have some substance to keep me like, not bored. And like that constantly, what you doing, like, you're not really interesting. Or you want to play games. Because, back then, like in 2016, 2017, it was all about the what's it called? The Apple games or whatever. So sending 8-ball and stuff like that. Like, we're not going to be together. Let's be real. But I did start setting my boundaries for myself when I was 19. Because I had just got through dealing with someone I was dealing with for a long time. And I was like, you know what? I know I'm better than this. I'm better than this. And I want more for myself than what the person was giving me. So I set those boundaries for myself when I was young. But I kind of had already figured out what I wanted for myself. And it's a video floating around of me. And I was like, maybe 18, 19. I was like, I might even drop a little snippet of it. But it was just like, I was just like, nobody got to be in love with Charity, and nobody got to do that. Charity always going to be in love with Charity, and I stood on that for a long time, and I'm still like that, obviously, because I have a whole self-love podcast. But I was like that. I was like, nah, nobody got to be in love with me or have to even worry about dealing with me or anything like that, because Charity always going to be in love with Charity, and I stand on that to this day. But that goes to say, like what I was saying, like that's the time where you need to figure yourself out. If you haven't created those boundaries for yourself, 18, 19, having that relationship or being in a relationship so like long or back to back half your 20s kind of doesn't really help you figure out yourself, because after you get through the relationships later on in your mid 20s, you like, dang, I should have used that time to figure myself out, have some fun, and not do all of that. And then you stuck when you outside, especially if you've been somebody who just always been in relationships back to back to back. You have no time to breathe. You have no time to figure out yourself. You have no time to heal. You have no time to unboggle your thoughts. You still kind of figure things out, and you kind of left mid 25 when you should already be knowing who you are and how you should be walking in your steps or walking in your truth. And you kind of like, dang, I'm just trying to figure myself out. And it's not to bash you, but it's like, if you're a young adult now, take that advice from somebody who's a little older, who's telling you that, because it's true. Like you should use that time to get to know yourself. Now, if you did not take that time and you kind of just now realize it, that's okay too. That's fine. We just know what we need to do now to get ourselves right so that we can be walking in our aligned path and doing the things that make us truly happy inside, and figuring out what boundaries work for us so that we can no longer be manipulated or misused or abused by people or things that don't really care about us. You see what I'm saying? So I had started talking about this one topic, but it's okay. So yeah, that I definitely agree with trying to embrace or explore your values early on is very essential to your adulthood. Okay. The next thing I would say is practice mindfulness, whether it's journaling, like freehand. Sometimes you get bottled up with all these emotions. You don't know how to express it, or you don't have nobody to express it to. Get you a journal. I have one. I don't do it every day. I'm going to be real with y'all, and I don't do it every week. But I have those moments where, like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't need nobody knowing my business. I'm finna write it down. And it's not like, get out my business, girl. But it's just like some things, like I say, it's just for you. And sometimes you just need to express it. And you need to get it out. So practice mindfulness with journaling. Like, I think it's very helpful. I also got back to meditating. I told y'all, because I posted on my Instagram story as well. I was like, meditate, y'all, meditate, because it really does help, especially when like we as an adult, you deal with so many stressors, where stresses from your job, your home life, or relationships, and sometimes you just need to find an outlet. And practicing meditation helps my breathing as well, because like I have anxiety, I have social anxiety, and it also comes from my condition, because I told y'all I have PCOS. So like I get some type of anxiety, I get fidgety, but it's not like super OD. It's just a little anxiety, but it's enough to like throw me off. So like the meditation helps, practicing slow breaths and breathing and taking the time to breathe all the way in and just, relax. It helps that tension in my neck that I get from that job. It helps me relax. So meditation, that's another way. Decompress after work. I have to decompress after work. I get off late, but I have to take a step and be like, whew, child, I need to breathe. Like, decompress. Have some self-reflection time as well. That helps to get to know yourself more. I'm not going to say you're going to get to know yourself in all one season. Trust me, it's not going to happen. That's going to take a lot of time, especially if you never had the time to even do a self-evaluation over yourself or check your inventory. It's kind of a lot, especially if you like grown now and you trying to like get to know yourself. It's a lot of things you haven't dealt with, so you have to take that time a little bit at a time, day by day. You have to take it as slow, literally slow. It's all about the progress. It's not how fast you end what they say. It's not how fast you complete the race or something like that. As long as you finish, or if they didn't say that, that's what I'm saying. It's not how fast you get to the finish line. It's as long as you finish at your own pace. Okay, don't let nobody rush you. But yeah, do self-reflection time. Helps with getting to know yourself, and then boost your self-esteem. When you get to know yourself more, it does boost your self-confidence, because now you know how to walk and how to carry yourself and how to deal with yourself. Because sometimes we can get irritated with ourselves because we don't know how to like cope with ourselves when we feel these negative emotions. We be like, ugh, why do I feel like this? Or how do I stop feeling like this? Well, this self-reflection time is just for you to reflect over everything, okay? And when you practice mindfulness, it has all these different benefits. For example, self-control, enhancing flexibility, improve concentration, and mental clarity. Girl, when I finish meditating, I do feel that clarity. I get that clarity. I understand it. I feel it. I can feel the tension being released from my soul. That's how much meditation definitely helps me. It improves your emotional intelligence, and that's a big one. I don't know for y'all out there, but like me, when I'm down or like it's a lot going on mentally for me and emotionally, and I feel overwhelmed, like when I have those spats where I like disconnect, and I tell y'all I take my mental breaks. Before that though, like I have to take my mental breaks, because if I don't do that, when it comes to like my emotional intelligence, I really snap on people, and it don't even be their fault, but I just be like, I don't have patience for this. I don't have time. Like, just leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. Stop asking me questions. And I end up snapping, because I used to be like that for real. And I'm surprised some of my friends are still around, because I used to snap like that. Like, I'd have been like, girl, if you don't get out my face. But they were we had our spats. They stuck around for a long time, and they still here. But yeah, it does help with your emotional intelligence. You're able to breathe. When you're able to breathe and release that tension and everything, you're able to be there for people, or still be able to communicate effectively and understand other people's emotions as well. And I think as I get older, because I've told y'all I've never been like that, like emotional, or like had emotional intelligence. I guess you say high emotional intelligence. Like, I can tell the basics, but sometimes I just don't be caring. But I think as I get older now, like, I'm embracing it, and it's a lot of things happening in my life that's helping me embrace being emotional, or have that emotional intelligence. And the last benefit I would say is you are able to treat yourself with kindness. Like I said, when you don't understand why you're acting like that, you start having that self-hate. But it also, with practicing mindfulness, you are able to show yourself some compassion and kindness, and understand what you're going through, so you can sit down and just decompress and clear all those cluttered files. Because every time I think of like a scattered brain, I think of that SpongeBob episode, y'all. When SpongeBob, I forgot exactly what was happening, but all I remember is he had them file cabinets and he was going through them things. Oh, when he lost his self identity because he turned into normal SpongeBob. And you see how that worked out? He was like so discombobulated. He was so confused. And you never want to be like that. So that's a perfect example of SpongeBob. I don't know why I'm laughing, but that was a crazy episode. Some basic mindfulness practicing that you can do, I said meditation, practice breathing, try to work on your concentration, because sometimes when your mind is all over the place, it's hard to concentrate. You don't have that sense of being able to concentrate or focus, and you start procrastinating, or you just say forget whatever I was working on. You need to be aware of your body. You know how everybody says this about me. I quite know a lot about my body, like everything. Like I told you, I have this condition. If you don't know what PCOS is, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I would look it up because I don't feel like explain all of it. But it's a lot. You have to be very much aware of your body and your hormones and all of that in order to feel okay. And if it's a tad thing is off, whether it's your eating habits or you're not getting enough exercise, I will know. I will know for sure. My body will definitely tell me. And that's a way of me being able to be aware of how my body is. So I make sure I eat mostly good. I be trying, y'all. Like, that's a hard thing to do. But being mindful of your body and how it feels and what makes it feel bad. I try to stay away from those things. Like I said, beef. I have a health thing with that. It gives me migraines, so I stay away from that. Certain things, be mindful of what makes your body feel off. Even rather if you don't have, you pretty much healthy, but you continue to work yourself back to back to back without taking a break. That can put some wear and tear on your body. You get bags under your eyes, and you start not looking like yourself. You start looking lifeless. I've seen it before, and no. So it's be aware of your body. Awareness of your body and what your body go through and what is not normal on your body. That's a way of practicing mindfulness. Releasing tension. Go get a massage, baby, because I want to go get a massage and have them break down every muscle. Like, I wish they can take all my muscles out and just roll them out with like that bread roller. Is that what they call it? Yeah, I just be wanting to do that because that tension be eating me up alive. But like, I would like that. But go get a massage. Go get your feet massaged. Treat yourself. I always say that. Treat yourself. And even walking meditation, if you gotta walk just to clear your mind, that helps. With complete silence, no music, no nothing, just walk. That helps too. Just get a break for yourself. Okay. Another way that can help with being your authentic self is facing your fears. Like I said at the beginning, people tend to not take those risks because they're scared of the outcome. Girl or boy, it's whatever happens gonna happen. But like I said, when you get tired of being tired of the same things, you're going to take that step. And sometimes we get okay. If you're okay with being in the same spot, that's on you. I guess you just don't. Some people just don't want to. They're okay with, or they're content with being in the same spot rather than achieving self-growth or trying to want better for themselves. It's like, well, this is what it is. And that's not the case. You have the opportunity. You have the means. Whatever you need is already inside of you. So all you have to do is be able to be brave to use what God has already put inside of you and put it in front of you so that you can take those risks. You're already equipped with everything you need. So stop being scared of wanting to take that risk or that step. Stop standing in your own way. Like, it's really you. Sometimes it's really you. It don't be other people standing in their own way. It really just be you being scared or not wanting to take those risks and obtain true happiness. I don't know. Maybe me, I'm a risk taker when it comes to myself. Like, I'm going to have to take that risk. Sometimes I'll be like, but I'm going to take that risk. Because I'd rather take that risk than continue to be unhappy, And you never know what you can discover about yourself. You might figure out you have a new strength about yourself that you didn't know that you might enjoy. Or you might find out you like something you thought you never would like before. And finding out these new things definitely do make you happy. And it do boost your happiness. and with yourself and your self-confidence, self-worth, all of that. Things we do and how we live our life definitely does contribute to our self-love and self-growth. If you know where you at not making you happy, why even still sit there? What you need to sit down and be like I said, check your inventory. Sit down and see what makes you happy. What will make you happy if you're not happy now? And if you are happy now, what will continue to make you happy? We got to do these things if we want better for ourselves, you know? And don't just learn how to be your authentic self. Try to maintain it by continuing to do the same things that make you happy. And if you don't know if these things really make you happy, stop doing something for a minute and see if that will make you unhappy. Or do you get happier? So like I said, it's really like a tweak thing. You got to find what works for you, and when it does, continue to do it so that you can stay on your designated aligned path, so that you can live the life you want and be the person or woman or man that you want to be. Okay, so that would be the tips that I would give you to be, if you don't know how to be your authentic self or how to discover how to be your authentic self. Those are the ways that I would say. Now, like I just said, don't just be your authentic self or figure out how to do that. Maintain it. Like I said, figure out the things that make you happy and keep doing it. If things you're doing not making you so happy, stop doing some things and see what will make you happy. So you need to stop standing in your way. For one, stop standing in your own way. Stand on your word. There's nothing like saying you're gonna do one thing and don't do it. You're not being your authentic self. Be trustworthy, down to earth, and real. Those are the three things that you need to be your authentic self. Be real to yourself, down to earth with yourself, and be trustworthy to the people that you love. Follow through with commitments. Don't be saying that you're gonna do something and you don't do it. That's really important, because then you're not being your authentic self. Now, if your authentic self is, just that toxic and don't stand on the word, I mean, that's that. But for the people who know that and they come to the table with something that they real, and they know they come to a table with a lot of things, loyalty and all that, and they know they're a good person inside. This is what I'm talking about. The second thing to how to keep maintaining it is stop taking everything personal. This is a big thing. Stop taking everything personal. Just sometimes people say things. That doesn't mean they're directing it to you. Now, if you need clarity to see if they directed it to you, then you need to ask that. But don't take things personal. People say anything, and some people say things because they want to see if they can knock you off your wagon, if this going to affect you, just to make them feel good about themselves. So don't take things personal. People say a lot of things, but don't take it to heart, because you know who you are inside. You know what type of person you are, and like I said, you know what you bring to the table. So that little comment that Alicia said, or Stacy, or Kevin, forget what they talking about. Don't take everything personal, because you know who you are. Okay. Learn to say no and stick to your boundaries. We talk about this all the times, and I think this is hard. People have a hard time with this because of people they care about. They want to not hurt them or da-da-da-da-da. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with being selfish sometimes. Sometimes you have to stand on your word in order for other people to know you're not playing with them. Yeah, they may now figure out that, oh, you're a great person, but still stick on your boundaries. That don't mean let your wall down just because now they figured out that you're a great person, or they know that you bring something to the table. Nah, now you got to work. Stick to your boundaries. Learn to say no. If you feel like you are overextending yourself and you feel like you still not content, even though that person is doing what they're supposed to do now or following through, still stick to your boundaries and make sure that you're okay at the end of the day and you're feeling good on the inside. I would also say, don't let what you see on the outside of what other people are doing affect what you're doing, if that makes sense. As in, for example, let's say you're in a relationship, you just got out a relationship with your ex, and they're talking to somebody else, or they're doing somebody else, or you just got out of a friendship with somebody else, and or you follow one of your friends, but they look happy with another friend. Like, don't let that, just because they look happy on the outside, does not mean they're happy on the inside. Some people look at that and be like, oh, they're so happy, and that actually affects their walk and how they feel emotionally. Like, things may be looking like that, but that don't mean everything peaches and cream. Every relationship has its issues. Just because they look happy, they probably not even in a relationship, or they're not even friends. They probably just hee hee ha ha, and they're probably trying to make you jealous. So it's like, stop letting things that you see affect your walk. Like, it's your walk. Be on your path. I feel like if people learn how to be selfish and learn how to stick to their boundaries, they already own it. They already can't be messed with, because when people don't like when you stand on your boundaries, and they sure don't like when you know how to say no. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. But if people had a little bit more self-respect and being able to stand on who they are and what they believe in, you couldn't be messed with. And you would actually be more happier in life. And I am grateful that God blessed me with that type personality trait. I don't care, and I will tell you no. And I will stand on it. And I'm here to help you guys stand on your word. Stand on it. When you say no, don't even go back, because they over there whining and crying. Okay? Anyways, child, I'm happy. So, you can cry. You can fall on the ground. You can kick and scream, child. But I'm not going to say yes. So, stand on your boundaries. Learn to say no. Stop taking everything personal. Stop looking at what other people got going on, and stop standing your own way, and stand on your word. And the last thing I would say to y'all is always be the best you can be, because that's all you can do, okay? Be the best you can be, but make sure you put your best foot forward, okay? So, as usual, that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope you guys learned something and took something from this episode. Because obviously I really care about you guys. But I really do want better for y'all. And it actually, like I said, I like hearing from you guys. And I do want to say thank you for you guys who did reach out. Because I had a couple people reach out to us. I mean, to me. It's not to us. To me. And I had a young lady like last week, maybe a couple weeks ago. And she reached out to me and she touched my heart. Like, for real. She really did. But I really do appreciate that. And I hope she's doing great and continues to be great. As well as for the rest of you guys who reached out. Continue to follow me and reach out and stuff and DM me. Because, you know, I just got a little razzle-dazzle to tell you. And we're going to keep going, y'all. So being our authentic self and keep going and keep maintaining that. And being the best we can be. So that our self-love journey this year, we're going to reach where we're trying to be by the end of this year. By the time December 31st come around, we're gonna be where we want to be, you and me both. Like I always tell y'all really probably don't believe me, but the podcast is just for y'all and me too. I might show this exemplary self-love for myself, and it's real, because you know how I am. I'm authentic about it. But there's always some things you need to tweak. As I always say, you might be where you want to be right now, but that next year when you turn 25, 26, or whatever age you are, that next year when you go over another age, it's a different type of person. It's a different type of want you want for that year, or not even for that year, but for yourself. As you get older, you want new things for yourself, and you want to do better for yourself. So take this opportunity to do that. This is for us. This year is for us. I don't care. I've never said that before, and I really do truly believe this year is for us. Receive it and put your foot down that this is for you. This year is for you, and believe it. Okay? So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications, as well as follow my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. Don't be scared to reach out to me. I really am nice. But don't be scared to reach out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. All right. Bye.